Yeah, absolutely. Now, we don't want to take too long on this one. Let's move directly into, sorry about the clap, the otherworldly patron, the Lurker of the Deep.
Yeah.
But also, this reminds me so much of Critical Role.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Ford's character in there a little bit. So what do we get? So you get your expanded spell slot list, and this is very thematic for sea. It's create water, thunder wave, things like that.
Right, control water, cone of cold, commune with nature. So a lot of nice, interesting spells. Again, I will say again that both of these are very well themed. They're both very thematic. Now, also at first level, you get kind of like one of the main features of this class, which is the Grasp of the Deep.
Right. Now, this one we had a little bit of confusion on one little point, because we wanted to see if this was closer to the cleric spell of the spiritual weapon.
But a little cooler. Now, essentially, you get to summon this tentacle that kind of comes up from the ground. And
that's my tentacle, by the way.
Yeah, that's really good. And it can basically kind of attack anything within 10 feet. On a hit, it takes 1d8 cold or lightning, and its speed is reduced by 10 feet.
Right, and then what you can end up doing is, on your turn, as a bonus action, move it up to 30 feet.
Kind of like
I don't know how it does it.
Over.
It's got tentacles over, and it can repeat the attack.
Yeah.
This is really great because it gives the Warlock a bonus action that it can actually do on a regular basis to do a little bit more damage.
Yeah, because admittedly, as a Warlock, you're so limited on spell slots, and there's a couple of options that you can do for bonus action spells. You really don't want to use it because you only get the 1, 2, or 3, or 4 that you have.
Right.
So having this as an option is really, really awesome, and they balanced it well because it's not necessarily better than Spiritual Weapon.
Right, because its maximum with it is 2d8 that it does. With a Spiritual Weapon, you can use a spell slot and go from there. So it's kind of like a Spiritual Weapon cantrip, which is kind of
basically
cool. But I just love the idea of a tentacle coming out of nowhere, whapping somebody, and then going back. You can also unsummon it, by the way, which is kind of a neat thing. You can just kind of disappear. And you can do it a number of times equal to your charisma modifier per long rest. Not short. All right, now on to our next one on there, and that's Scion of the Deep.
Yeah, so Scion of the Deep is pretty interesting. So essentially within 120 feet, you can begin speaking with creatures, but it's very specific. It's innate swimming speed.
So the creature has to be able to swim, and you can talk to it.
Yeah.
My only thing is the creature is not going to have some sort of amazing intelligence.
Yes.
You can talk to the fish, but the fish are probably just going to go...
ideas.
That's about it. So that's cool. They communicate ideas with it. Then you get Fathomless Soul at 6th level.
So you start seeing that you begin to bring the Triton or Simic hybrid out of you. So essentially, you get 3 features. You can breathe both air and water. You have a swim speed equal to your walk speed, and you have resistance to cold damage.
Which is cool. I can get that by being a Triton, pretty much, but not a big deal. And then Guardian Grasp. Now, this is where things get really interesting, because this is where those tentacles get upgraded.
Yeah, and it's really important to think about how you position these tentacles, because at 6th level, now they can actually begin defending you and your party members. So you can use your reaction to basically half the damage of something that's within 10 feet of the tentacle.
Right, so someone goes up to strike your friend, your tentacle goes over and takes part of the damage. Kind of cool. And then we get Devouring Maw at 10th level. Now, these 2 next abilities are really cool because they really feature on the Kraken kind of feel with this. Go ahead and read Devouring Maw for us.
Yeah, so as an action, you can choose a point that you can see within 60 feet, and you kind of create this almost like small typhoon, as you kind of create this 10-foot radius centered on the point. So anything that is in it, when it first appears, has to make a strength save. If it fails, it actually is going to be restrained.
Right,
so you're initially holding them down. Anything that starts its turn within the maw is going to take 3d6 cold or lightning damage. I am so doing the plug over there. Absolutely. So it's going to take some damage if it starts its turn there, and then it has to use its action if it wants to actually escape the restraint or get out. And on top of all that, if anything starts within the maw, you actually gain temporary hit points equal to your Warlock level.
Now, that's really cool. Remember, temporary hit points don't stack. I see that being very, very useful because you have this thing going like that, and you have your tentacles whipping at it. I think this is really cool. Our last one goes even further when we talk about this next one's Unleashing the Depths.
Yeah, so almost imagine yourself almost summoning the Kraken or whatever your patron is to almost help you out.
Yeah, essentially that's what it goes. You can use it to transport, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, so within 30 feet of you, you can basically grab, you and 5 of your buddies, and you can go to a point within 100 miles that you visited within the past 24 hours.
Which is kind of cool. You kind of have to look at that. I would just love to appear out of this abyss with these tentacles placing all of our party back. Exactly. That's really a neat thematic thing.
Or you take the offensive, and you actually pick up to 5 creatures, and they're going to make a dex save. If they fail, they take 6d10 cold or lightning, and they get knocked prone if they fail that save.
That's a really awesome thing. All right, cool. So that's really awesome. You do get a new spell in here, which is kind of neat. It's this mind sliver kind of thing, essentially sending into somebody's head.
Yeah, a little bit. A bit of like a temporary migraine. And the classes are cool, but for some reason I really like this cantrip because, for one, it's on an intelligence save. We don't really have too many intelligence save attacks or spells in the game, so that's awesome. And besides dealing a little bit of damage, it gives a little Bane effect where on the next thing that they roll, they have to do a D4 on the next saving throw, and then they subtract whatever they get in the save on that D4, which is really cool.
Right, this is really awesome. It's something creative, something new. I always said we need more spells. This is an awesome little cantrip with it. I would give this new UA probably a 4 out of 5 with it. There's like little tweaks. Honestly, it's a really awesome setup. I like these. I hope these become something actually in-game with it.
I agree. I think, again, like you said, there's a couple things that can be adjusted. If anything, maybe a couple buffs here and there. But really, though, I think what this nails is that they essentially picked like an idea or a theme with both of these subclasses. And you really get the idea of what they do with the expanded spell list, with a lot of the flavor they do, and the abilities, more importantly, reflect what that class is supposed to specialize in. I think they did a really good job with this. You can really fit these in kind of different campaign settings, too. You know, you can be like a fantasy thing, or you can even do like maybe even an Eberron thing. There's a lot of options that you can kind of take with these two subclasses.
Right. Now, I know we've gone on long enough with this thing, so we're just going to do our shameless plugs here right for a second. If you've got something you'd like us to take a look at, you can definitely send it to us down here at dmbrewcrew@gmail.com. We'd be happy to take a look and see if there's something that we'd like to feature on the channel.
Yes, and we also stream every other Tuesday night on our stream called The Maw, where you can actually see homebrew creations being play-tested and some that you might even submit to us as well.
That's right. And remember, the best campaigns are always the ones that are homebrewed. Until next time,
keep brewing.